Today's episode is continuing the Hormone Whisperer series, and we're going to be talking about inflammation and mood swings. So, welcome back to the podcast. Welcome to Weight Loss for Women Over 40. I am your host, Nikki T. And if you have been here for a bit, you already know this is not your typical weight loss conversation podcast. We are not here to micromanage our food. We are not here to label your body as some problem that you need to fix. And we're definitely not here to pretend that willpower is the missing piece. Again, I am Nikki T, also known as Nicole Tournay. I am a weight loss mindset coach, two-time TEDx speaker. I am a behavioral coach. I am actually working on another certification on mental health, so I'm excited about that. And someone who has spent like years helping women over 40 understand their body on a deeper level. I started back in 2002 as a personal trainer, so it's been a long road. Um, I did all the dieter's mentality crap. If you've listened to this podcast, you've heard me talk about it. I taught it because that's what we're taught as a personal trainer, as a health coach, as a nutritional specialist, that kind of stuff. Um, Behavioral coach, not so much, but it's just frustrating because it's so much stuff that it's just clutter. It really is. When you understand how your body works on a deeper level, you don't need all that diet stuff. So, we are not here to control everything. I know you ladies out there probably think you are supposed to be controlling everything, but that's not it. And, giving up the fight, fighting your body, fighting against the food or the thoughts that are going on in your head, right? That ping pong match that I talk about all the time. Should I do that? Shouldn't I do that? Should I eat that? Should I not eat that? Should I eat after 7? Should I not eat after 7? Like, there's so much. Um, but actually taking the time to really understand what's going on a physiological level, but also on a psychological level is so helpful. So again, we're talking about hormones in this Hormone Whisperer series. If you are new, there are a couple episodes back of it, so you can start there. And we got a couple more. So this is like the middle episode. We got a couple more coming up. Um, but we're talking about hormones, right? And learning to read your body's signals instead of overriding them. And this is really so important because I really feel like we have lost touch with our natural body signals, especially us ladies in that were born in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, right? We grew up in a world where you were taught how to diet. You went to Weight Watchers for the weekend. Raise your hand if your mom took you to Weight Watchers. I get that a lot from my clients. I personally have never experienced it. I definitely think my mom had some eating things, but nothing. I'll have to do a podcast on that. I don't want to throw mom under the bus, love her to death, but we all have our baggage, right? My dad has baggage too. I have baggage. We all have baggage. Um, and that carries through with us, right? So what we're taught from our family, friends, grandparents, all that, right? We're not blaming them, but this is just the stuff that is passed down through our generation, and it comes with us, right? And we've really lost touch of our natural body signals. And then again, layer in that conditioning and life experiences. Maybe something happened to you. Maybe something it was small. Like for me, I talk about, my thighs that my ballet teacher said to me, like that's not a big thing, but I took it as a big thing, right? There could be the big traumas, right? So hopefully you haven't gone through those, but if you have, those life experiences are what you're operating on today and determines what kind of body you have right now. It can be quite the tornado cocktail when you're trying to get a healthier, leaner body, especially when you're over 40. This is why I created my proven weight loss method. I vividly remember standing years ago in my former kitchen after I had just like weighed my food and micromanaged everything and food logged. And in sheer desperation, I thought, oh My goodness, there has got to be a better way to do this. I'm so over this. I can't imagine living my life. I plan on living to 110. Fingers crossed that's what happens, but or maybe more, who knows? As long as I am in good health and mentally sane, I'm okay with that. Um, but I realized I was like, I don't want to keep food logging for the rest of my life. I am in my 50s. I'm 52 right now, and I can't imagine the next 50 years food logging and being so uncomfortable when I go to a restaurant and having to pick and food log and so that is the moment that my mindset method was incepted. I don't know if that's correctly grammatically correct, but that's when it burst into my life. And it evolved, and it still is evolving over the years. I've got it honed down pretty good. And I am a much better coach, of course, over the years, and I can spot it a lot quicker. But I'm telling you, it is so much easier than some diet that you are doing or some shot or pill. I know they are huge right now, and I hope I have a lot of thoughts about the shot and pill, and no judgment on you because if you are taking it, because I get it. You want that instant gratification. You want that quick fix, especially if you've been dealing with your weight for years and years and decades and decades. I get it. But we all know that they have side effects. And a lot of these side effects are coming to light, but they're still new. They may find out in 10 years something else is happening, right? I know for one, I've heard a lot about bone density. The taking certain shots or pills is going to decrease your bone density. And ladies, as we age, that is super important just naturally. And to add that on top of it, oh my gosh. So that probably is another podcast. But what if you learned my mindset method and all these other areas of your life started to get better? And the side effect that you get from my mindset method is that you lose weight because you don't want some number on the scale, some tag number in your clothes. That is not like you think that's the goal. This is why I say your weight doesn't matter. You think that you want to be 120 pounds or 130 pounds, whatever that magical number is for you, but you really don't. You want the feeling that goes with that number. Whether that's confidence, whether that's feeling sexier, whether that's just feeling better in your body, whatever that is for you, that happens through your mindset first. You don't get to that weight and then just arrive. No, your brain has to catch up. This is why I've talked about people that lose weight really fast. If you're taking that shot or that pill and you lose so fast the weight, your brain doesn't have time to catch up. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, who is that? I don't like your brain doesn't compute. And you'll either self-sabotage because again, your brain still equates you as being this larger person, this heavier person, whatever that weight is, right? Going off on a tangent, but I want you to know it's not about that number. It's about the feelings that you think you're going to get when you get there. And I can tell you with my mindset method, I can help you get to that space so you don't self-sabotage, so you don't revert, so you don't go through that. And it happens through mindset first. Yes, food is important, moving your body is important, but the mindset, you got to nail that first. And if you want to learn my proven method, go to weightlossforwomenover40.net. Again, that's weight loss for women over 40, 40 at the end.net. I now have 3 different ways that you can learn my method and start feeling great in your life and in your body. While you're over there on the website, if you want to grab my free ebook, Stop Starting Over, that's the title. You can get it at the bottom of the home page, the main website page, or you can go directly to weightlossforwomenover40.net/reset and grab your free copy there. All right, we're going to dive into the topic. So again, today we're talking about inflammation and mood swings. And I really want to take it in this direction that you're not going to hear it on podcasts. You're not going to hear most people talking about what I'm about to talk about. Because the mainstream conversation around inflammation and mood swings sounds like this: just cut out sugar, avoid processed foods, drink more water. And yes, those things can matter, but that's not the full picture. Not even close. Inflammation is not just a food response, right? It's an emotional and neurological response. Your body becomes inflamed when it perceives threat. And a threat can come from what you eat, how you think, how you live, and how you relate to yourself. That's all mindset stuff, other than the food. So let's connect this to mood swings because most women experience this, but they don't connect the dots, right? So you may feel very irritable. You may feel reactive. You may feel very emotional. You may feel easily overwhelmed. It's funny, I have to add this side note, even though this isn't sort of perimenopause, but I was watching, if you're a Friends fan, I'm a huge Friends fan, and I was watching the episode, Phoebe's pregnant and she's having these mood swings, and she goes from one extreme to the other to another extreme within a matter of seconds, which of course is very humorous, but if you are feeling like that, right? And you're not pregnant, like just know that some of those are definitely mindset things that are going on. Okay. So again, irritability, reactive, very emotional, easily overwhelmed. These are things that can be assumed as your hormones, it could be just your age, could be you thinking, oh my gosh, I need to adjust what I'm eating. But what if your mood swings are actually your body's inflammation signal? When your body is in low grade inflammation state, your nervous system becomes more sensitive. Your tolerance window starts to shrink. Things that you used to brush off now feel overwhelming. And it's not because you're quote unquote too emotional. It's because your system is already operating at a higher baseline of stress. So your reaction gets faster, you get sharper, you get more intense. That same inflammatory state also makes losing weight challenging because your body is not designed to thrive and to protect yourself at the same time. It picks one or the other. And if it feels like it needs to protect you, it will. And it'll do that by holding on to your weight. It'll do that by slowing down non-essential processes. It will do that by increasing your cravings for quick energy. And it'll keep you in a cycle that feels impossible to break. And I want you to think about this really on a primitive level. So if you are kind of in this protective mechanism, right? And it's fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Think of the stress levels that are going on in your body, right? Now, if you're imagining like you're in a dark alley and you're starting to freak out, that kind of thing, think of all those things that go on. Your body will shut down non-essential processes, right? This is why if you're too stressful and you are getting your period still, you can stop getting your period because your body is like, we can't have any babies right now. We are in a high stress situation. We cannot populate the world because they're going to get eaten or die or whatever. Think on an animal level, right? The when the stress levels start coming down and your body thinks it's safe, then it's a lot easier to procreate and to have kids and all that stuff. So when you are stuck in this loop, right, you feel off. You react more. You judge yourself for reacting, and you create more internal stress. Inflammation stays elevated, and your weight will stay stuck. I cannot tell you how many clients I have coached where they're saying something about what they should have done or shouldn't have done or whatever it is. And then you add this layer of judgment on top of what you're doing, right? So you're not only judging the thing that you did, but then you're adding another layer of judgment of like, oh, I really shouldn't have done that type of thing. And again, this is why my mindset method works so well. And especially if you're doing like private coaching with me, I'm going to see that. You can't see that. It's white noise to you because it sounds very familiar. The people around you are talking like that. It's you're in this like environmental bubble that you kind of grew up in. Even if you've left, like moved away from home in the sense of like moved far away, that still comes with you. And you'll probably have found more friends and things that you think all the same, you act all the same, right? So you're just constantly feeding into the same conditioning and patterns that you always have, right? A lot of times women think you just need more control, right? That's a big one. But control is often the very thing that keeps this cycle going. Because when you try to control it, you put more pressure on it, right? Suck it up, buttercup. We gotta just force myself to do the workouts. When you add that extra level of pressure, your body reads it as stress. So when we start to think about inflammation differently, start asking yourself what, instead of asking yourself of like the control aspect of like, what should I cut out? That kind of thing. Start asking yourself, where does my body feel like it has to stay on guard? Where do I feel unsafe? Because inflammation is often the result of constant bracing, overthinking everything, not feeling safe enough to slow down, suppressing your emotions instead of processing them, and always being in a state of like, I need to handle this, I need to fix this, I need to control this. Your body isn't just reacting to food, it's reacting to your life experience. And those mood swings, they are often the first visible sign. It's not the weight gain or feeling tired. It's because your emotional state shifts way faster than your physical body will, right? Think about it. You can have a reaction to something emotionally way faster than you can lose 10 pounds, right? And that's okay. We want that weight loss process to be a little bit slower. I actually encourage my clients to really take their time and to lose weight because that's how your brain gets on board with the process as you're losing the weight. So instead of seeing mood swings as something to fix, let's start seeing them as something to follow, something like almost like it's a light up pattern that you are looking for. Why are you feeling a certain way? Did something trigger you? That kind of thing. Those are showing you where your system is overloaded, where inflammation could be rising, where your body is asking for something different. And this doesn't mean that you have to like overhaul your entire life. It just means you need to start listening in a new way. So here's what you can do and start with is notice what spikes you emotionally. What are those triggers? And I'm not talking about just big things, but the subtle ones, the ones that are under the radar. Rushing out the door, feeling like you're behind on everything. Conversations where you hold back what you really want to say. Ruminating on conversations of what you thought you should say or what you think you should say if you should have that conversation. Constantly thinking about what you should be doing or shouldn't be doing. Those little micro moments absolutely add up, and your body is keeping score. Reducing inflammation is not just about what you remove, it's about what you resolve. The thoughts you complete, the emotions that you process, the pressure that you release. Because unresolved tension, internal tension, that's inflammation. And when that starts to shift, you're going to notice that your mood will stabilize, your reactions will soften, your body feels lighter, and weight loss starts to feel less forced. It's not because you're trying harder, but it's because your body no longer feels like it has to fight. And this all starts with mindset, understanding your triggers, understanding your body, understanding the thoughts and patterns that are coming up for you. If this episode resonated with you, if you're starting to see that your body is not working against you, it's responding to you, right? Then this is the exact work that I do inside of my mindset method, which is housed inside of my Jumpstart program. This is where we go beyond food, where we look at your patterns, your nervous system, your internal pressure, and how all that is influencing your body and your life. So you can stop guessing and start working with the body, your body, instead of constantly trying to fix it. And if you're ready for personalized coaching, where I walk you through my mindset method and adapt it to your life, you can apply for private coaching at weightlossforwomenover40.net/call, CALL at the end. All right, if this episode gave you a different perspective, please share it with someone who needs to hear this, because the more we understand what our body is actually communicating to us, the less we keep blaming ourselves for something that was never about a lack of discipline in the first place, right? I will see you in the next episode of the Hormone Whisperer series, which is going to drop next week, where we talk about thyroid and metabolism myths. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you then.